Good day. God bless. Welcome back, you guys. My name is Zach, and this is episode 37 in the Healthy, Wealthy, Happy series. We're going to go to Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. And I pray to God that I have helped somebody out there, helped build you up. And I know for a fact you guys are helping build me up. The community is growing and getting bigger, and the more comments and more likes and more subscribers are coming in. So it's just feeling great. Um, so if you followed along, you know um, that I am 72 hours in this week. I'm on my third day of fasting, so I got one more day of work. So I got one more day of fasting, and I don't know why, but I'm feeling a lot better on this third day compared to the last two third days. You know, the 72 hours in on the last two fasts. I might contribute it to, like, I worked out 3 days in a row, and I just got a lot of energy, and I just feeling good from that. But I ran into a little phrase. The secret to change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. And I can tell you guys, man, that is such a powerful motivational sentence there for me right now. I was walking around at work today, and I'm 72 hours on a fast, and every fast I've ever been on, including these past 396-hour fasts, food is on your mind a lot. I mean, it has to be on your mind to help you survive. I mean, the caveman, if he never thought about food, he would have just sit in a cave until he starved to death and died. It's a survival mechanism to get hungry and think about food and want to eat. And the same thing is like procreating. All these things are built into us to want to mate and eat and drink water. This is all natural. So to be 3 days into a fast, and I'm walking around at work, I'm doing my rounds for my laboratory checks and stuff, and I realized I was consciously thinking that I'm losing weight right now. And I was kind of like losing weight, losing weight, losing weight, losing weight, just with every step, instead of like, I want to eat food, I want to eat. It's like, I know I'm going to eat tomorrow night. I just took some meat out of the freezer and threw it on the fridge when I got home today. It was no big deal. I spotted a little thing in the fridge for a second. I was like, "Ooh, that'd be nice to eat that right now," but I didn't. I was like, I'll eat it tomorrow. There was some salad stuff in there still. I was like, oh man, would it be nice to have a vegetable salad right now with some vinaigrette? It just tastes so good. But I was like, it'll taste good tomorrow too. And the goal is to lose weight. Oh, speaking of the goal, guys, I don't want you to think I'm panicking and freaking out about exactly how much I weigh every minute of every day. I'm only doing this to document for you and also for me, because I'm going to look back at this video in May, in June, in July, when I'm continuing on my journey, and I could see, like, well, how much was I losing on those 4-day fasts? How was I feeling? How much was I working out? How much water was I drinking? What was I eating on my days on of eating? So I want to clarify, like, I'm not obsessed about how much I weigh on the scale. I can feel, if you saw me stand up that day and turn sideways, I mean, my stomach is like hangs over my belt buckle, and I've been feeling it, look, boop, boop, it's still there. When I stand up, I'm kind of tucking my fingers under near my stomach every day. And because just last summer it was flat. The summer before that was flat too. I just gain it all in the winter every time. So this time I'm losing it in the winter. Anyway, it's getting smaller. My work clothes are fitting better. My work shirts that were just, the buttons were just begging for mercy. It's and now they got, a couple inches of room again. So I know my stomach has went down. My waist on my pants is zips and buckles and buttons easier than it did, even 2 weeks ago. So I know I'm going in the right direction, no matter what the scale says anyway. So I was talking about, let me see if I can just show you quick, if it'll even show up on, but I mean, I have it written out, like how much I'm going to weigh, how much I'm going to, I just have it written out here, like what day it is, what week it is, if I'm eating, fasting. And then on this side, I mean, you can't see it all, but it's got from 270 all the way down to 205, is if I stayed on that, where I started out fasted, and then I said don't go over 265. And then next week I didn't go over 260. Then last week I didn't go over 255. And this coming week I'm gonna not go over 250. So, and then it just keeps going. But really the goal is 218. So I got plenty of leeway in there to not make it every time. You know, especially like I said, once I get down farther, it does get harder, you know. Not harder, it's the same effort, but it just gets slower, which is fine. You can lose 1 pound a week for 2 years and you're 100 pounds down. I mean, it's not that big a deal. When you change, when you actually change and not just go on a diet, then you wouldn't mind to take 2 years. If it's that much of a problem. Hello, Barbara. Good to see you. I think you're a brand new subscriber. I think I saw one of your comments already. So anyway, I go live every night about this time after work. I work my 12-hour shift, and then so these are my fasting days. So I'm on my third day of fasting. So anyway, where I was just at was if you watched my video last night, I was over 250 still. Remember, I was like, I'm 48 hours in and I'm 253. But I had just left the gym where I had chugged a bunch of water because I was, you know, working out and I was thirsty. And so by the time I went to bed, even though it was only like an hour after the stream, I had went to urinated a couple times and I was down to like 251. And then if you watched yesterday's stream as well, you heard me talk about dry fasting, which I'm not recommending. You know, it's something I've tried a couple times with some good benefits or some good effects. But you definitely want to do your own homework on that. This is not something you'd want to do like anytime soon. If you're just starting out on trying to intermittent fast or eat right, don't even think about dry fasting. I'm just bringing it up because I did it today. I did a 12-hour dry fast. So that means obviously fasting, you're not eating. Dry fast means you're not drinking or eating. I mean, Muslims do it every Ramadan. You know, they fast. They dry fast from during the hours of daylight. So when they're fasting in the summer, depending on when Ramadan comes, because it comes different times a year for our calendar. Sometimes it's in the summer, sometimes it's in the winter. When they're fasting in the summer, where it gets light out at say 7 and doesn't get dark till 9, I mean, they have a long dry fast as well. So it's not like people in the world don't fast and don't dry fast. I mean, Muslims fast, Jews fast, Buddhists fast, Hindus fast. I mean, the world fast. It's a common thing. It's just because we're in America and we have so much food and we're all obese. You know, I mean, Google what percentage of America is obese. Even like young children are obese now. I mean, I grew up in the 70s and it was rare to see an overweight child like under 10. Now it's just very common. Anyway, so I weighed 253 when I got home last night, even though I was on a 48 hours of the fast. But I just got back in the gym where I drank a huge bottle of water, went to the bathroom, weighed 251. Woke up this morning and I was like I don't remember, but it was like 250. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be under 250 for sure because I still have 24 hours to go even from now. Well, when I got home from work today, I was like 248 point something, say 5 or 8. I don't remember what it was. I was just write down the whole number, but so depending on how much water I drink tomorrow, I mean, I am rehydrating, you know, and you know, a lot of that was just water weight, but the water weight was having to come out of my fat. So it burns a little fat, a little extra fat is the philosophy of dry fasting, is the belief that, you know, it's known that there is water stored in your body fat. So if you're not drinking water, your body will break down more fat cells, more fat out of your fat cells to access that water. So I'm feeling pretty good about that because I'm just really amping myself up to eat the small meals on the next 4 days of eating, and not go back over 250. And if I do, you know, just by a pound, you know, not just to keep that window tight. And that's why I wanted to go off the OMAD for this time, because the OMAD is just one big, huge meal. And I got to get over eating big, huge meals in the long term anyway. So I might as well just start now. And like I said, I'm going to change my eating patterns on the 4 days of eating all the time. The fasting is the easy part. It's just 4 days, 96 hours, don't eat, drink water, maybe take vitamins here and there, maybe take some electrolytes, fasting salts here and there. But mostly it's just drink water and tea. I usually drink 3 cups of black tea per day. and then 1 cup of some type of nighttime tea, caffeine free. Like this one is this isn't the nighty night tea. This one is sleepy time tea. So this one is the Sleepy Time Tea Extra. It's pretty good too. It knocks you out. It's only 8 p.m. where I am here, Central Time in America, and I'm like feeling ready for bed after the last 3 days of hard workouts, and I'm 72 hours into the fast. But I am considerably feeling better, more energy, more alert. I mean, I'm not buckling my legs at work like I was last week with the fasting. So for being 3 days in it, I'm feeling great. And then I'm happy that I was a couple pounds under the 250. Oh, something I wanted to bring up too that I keep forgetting. I mean, I take a cold shower every day. I don't always bring it up in my video because I've been doing it for over a year and a half now. It might even be going on 2 years now. April, no, not quite 2 years. About 20 months now. So I'm so used to it that I don't mention it very often, but I feel like it's a very important part of this program because like I said on yesterday's video, yeah, it sucks. It sucks to get used to it at first, like it's a shock to your system bad. You can't even hardly breathe, you're not going to last more than 5 or 10 seconds. But after you do it for a week or 2 weeks, or especially after a month, you'll be able to stand under the cold water for a minute or two, no problem. And like I said yesterday too, it still kind of sucks even after 20 months of doing it, but I just do it because I know it's good for my immune system. I know it's good for my body. And now I'm learning like, hey, it's good for my mental state because it's telling me you're going to do this thing that sucks every day, whether you like it or not. And you end up liking it because as soon as it's done, you feel great. And it activates all your capillary veins that, the veins that provide blood to your skin, like that. All that cold water activates them all, and that's why it's such a great boost to your immune system. And like I said, it's telling me I'm gonna stick to where I stick to my guns. I'm gonna take cold shower every day, so you have to. You can't. Oh, it's I'm in Minnesota. It's just freezing cold outside and snow banks, and then come in and take a cold shower. It's kind of hilarious, but I do it, and then it helps me. I'm going to fast for 4 days a week, and it's like, I'm just going to do it. There's no skipping it. There's not going to, I could easily go eat, like I could fry 3 eggs right now and hammer them down and it wouldn't do anything as far as weight loss. It would break the fast temporarily, but 8 hours, 12 hours from now, when I'm at work tomorrow, it'd be gone out of me and but you know what I'm saying? I'm not even trying to do anything like that. I'm not trying to cheat my program or I'm just trying to focus on, like that saying for today is like, where's your energy? Like, I'm not looking that way is old Zach that had a lot of bad habits, especially if you go back 20. I mean, I was an alcoholic for over 20 years. I was a drug addict way back in the day. I've had my heart broken over and over and over, and I'm realizing it's it's probably all my fault, like trying to connect with women that are not compatible with me, and figuring that out, like, where's my energy going to go now? It's like, do I want to dissect why it didn't work with my ex-wife that I've been divorced for almost 12 years? It's like, no. My ex-girlfriend, we just broke up a few months ago. So, I could try to diagnose that or try to dissect that and figure out who was wrong and who was right and where the problems are. It's like, no. That's not that energy. That's the wrong way. The energy is this way. The energy is fasting for 96 hours a week, eating healthy for 96 hours a week, rinse and repeat, and do it over and over until April 1st. And I might just keep doing it. We'll see. It's going so good. I'm losing weight at I think a pretty healthy pace, maybe a little fast. But considering I'm not eating 4 days out of 8, I don't think it's too crazy to think I'll lose 3 to 5 pounds every 8 days. I mean, people say about how much weight you'd lose a week. Even if you go to a personal trainer, they'll say like 1 to 3 pounds, depending, if you're only a 150-pound woman and you're trying to get down to 140, they'll probably tell you to lose half a pound a week, because you're so light already. But if you're a 250-pound or 315-pound dude like I was, 3 pounds a week is not any kind of stretch of crazy. You could maintain that for 10, 20, 30 weeks, like I was saying, and eventually it'll get to be where it slows down, especially if you're eating the same healthy diet. Let's say you're eating a diet that will maintain the 175-pound body, the 170-pound body that I'm looking for. I wrote out some diet plans, by the way, and it's feeling great. Like, I wrote out meal plans today for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 4 days. And it didn't make me like, oh my God, just writing down this food. I want to go in the kitchen and make some food. It's like, no, I don't. I want to win. I want to win way more than I want to cheat on some diet. You know, like when I just told you I took some meat out of the freezer and threw it in the fridge, and I saw like my salad mix and stuff and veggies still in there from last week. I might have to throw them away. I'll check. I don't even want to look at it until tomorrow. And I had some cream cheese in there, and that's what hit me. I was like, oh, I could take a little bite of that cream cheese, and because I just weighed 248, and I know I'm going to have a couple pounds to work with, and it's like, no, I don't want that more than I want to win. I want victory. I want weight loss. I want 170. I want you feel so much better about yourself, and it's not just like, Zach, you judge yourself by how big you are. Like, no, I love myself at 315, and I'm going to love myself at 170. What I'm talking about is, you're not healthy at 315, Zach. I mean, dude, I was like, I had, what do they call that when you can't sleep good, you can't breathe? Like sleep apnea, I think it's called. I mean, I had that so bad, I'd wake up and my throat would be like swelled shut and I would be choking. And, it's like, oh yeah, I love myself at 315 or 170. I'm doing, it's like, dude, come on, let's wake up. You're not healthy. If you're overweight, you're unhealthy. It's unhealthy to be overweight. That's, I'm not saying it's not beautiful. There's some of the most beautiful women in the world got an extra 50 pounds on them, and that's a fact. But it doesn't mean it's healthy. It doesn't mean that's going to help you live to be 80, 90, 100 years old to have some extra body fat on you. It's just not. So, and like I said though in the beginning of the video, I'm not obsessing with the exact weight on the scale. I'm searching for health. Like I said, I had diabetes. If you've watched the series, I talked all about it. I made one whole video about the one about diabetes. And if you're pre-diabetic or you got a big pot belly like I do, that's pre-diabetes. Like, go watch that video. And you don't necessarily have to do anything I said in it for what I did. But if you will get the recommendations out of it for like Jason Fung's books, the Diabetes Code and the Weight Loss Code, or the Obesity Code and the Diabetes Code by Dr. Jason Fung. I mean, those two books are amazing that a doctor would basically throw his medical practice under the bus because he had to go against everything he was ever taught in college and working for hospitals and pushing, prescription drugs and prescription insulin shots and prescription metformin pills. And, to break away from that as a doctor and throw away your medical career to, because he had to do the right thing and he had to let people know, like, hey, insulin is not what a diabetic needs. I mean, when you're pre-diabetic and you're just about to pour into diabetes because your cells are blocking the sugar, the insulin, your body's creating insulin, grabbing the sugar out of the blood and putting it in your liver and putting it in your muscles. But you have so much sugar all the time because you've been overeating junk food for 10, 20, 30 years. I actually think I started feeling the effects of it after I realized I had it, and I did a little backtracking because of how better I felt after I cured it in like 3 months. That I had it, I think, since my early 20s, and it just wasn't bad enough to be called full-blown diabetes. Now we're going to see what my A1C is on April 1st. And it's going to be less than it was 20 years ago, way before they even said I had diabetes. But I have my medical records and I can see what it was even back then, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3. And they'll say, oh, Zach, be careful. You're kind of close, pre-diabetic. And I just thought, oh, okay, that means I'm not diabetic. And it's like, no, pre-diabetic is diabetic. You know what I mean? It's like mini diabetes. It's still diabetes. Don't wait. Why are you going to wait until it's 11.2 like I did and then go into shock mode and be like, now I got to do something or I'm going to die? It's like, how about just do something now? Don't even wait. Even if you have healthy A1C, like 5, let's say you're on the border, 5.7. I think that's the first tick of pre-diabetic. And I mean, no doctor would even probably tell you. They won't even care. It's so close because 5.6 is considered diabetic. But I Googled like, what's the average A1C of a person that lives to be 100? And it's like 4.0. So, I mean, this is a number you can pretty much guesstimate your longevity on this planet by knowing. If you know what that number is, you can pretty much guess how long you're going to live because sugar is attacking every cell. Diabetes is the one disease that attacks every single cell in your body because that extra sugar gets in them all. That's why diabetics go blind. That's why diabetics used to get amputated. It's damaging cells everywhere. So, kind of got off on a diabetes track there, but I'm just trying to motivate people to just get going. I know it's hard to start. Like I said, with the running a half marathon, 4 in 2019 when I ran my first half marathon, I was out running a lot and hiking a lot, but I hadn't ran more than 7 miles since I was in the military. And even in the military, you don't run more than that on most days. You get up and run 3, 4, 5 miles at the most, and push-ups and sit-ups and jumping jacks. They keep you in shape, but they're not training you to run marathons or nothing. And I'm telling this story about how you just get off the couch and go. A buddy of mine at work, he's a personal trainer, fitness coach. He runs track teams and cross country teams and fitness gyms and stuff like that. He's like, "Hey Zach, he saw some of my workouts on Facebook that I had shared because I hiked like 65 miles in 3 days or something up on the Superior Hiking Trail. You should run a half marathon." And he had a magazine, and he gives it to me, and he's like, "The half marathon's on, let's just say October 15th." And I look at the training program, and it's 10 weeks, but October 15th, back when it was 8 weeks away. And I was like, "Well, I don't even have time to do this." And he's like, "Well, just start on week 3." So like the first run I had to go on was like 8 miles, and I had been working out a little bit. And my point was, I didn't even plan on it. Some guy gave me a magazine, and maybe it's the old paratrooper in me, but I was like, I accepted the challenge. And 8 weeks later, I ran 13.1 miles without walking a single step. I almost collapsed when I crossed the finish line. I'll admit that. And it took a long time. I think my first one was like a 11-minute and 55 seconds per mile pace. So it was over 2.5 hours, which is hella slow. There, out of like 1,500 people, there wasn't more than a couple hundred people behind me. I'll put it that way. So, but then a couple years later, I ran one in like 2 hours and 17 minutes. So I had got better. And then last year, this past October, I was going to run another one, and then I kind of got chubby again, and I had to bail out of that training before I broke my knees in half. So, but this year, October, I'll be running it again. We'll see what I can get down to. I should probably get online and sign up for it now, just to have it in the bank, and we can put it on the calendar. And then maybe the year after that, what is this, 23? So maybe 24, then I'll sign up for the whole marathon. And because by then I'll definitely be down to the 170 goal. Because this is a never quit, never give up, cannot fail system. You're just gonna do it. I was talking to a friend at work, and it reminded me about when I first started training jiu-jitsu, because I'm 50, and you can see I'm kind of stocky, but when I was 30, I was way stocky. I got out of the military when I was like 26, 27. So I've had big arms and shoulders and chest and benching 400 pounds, and I'm practicing jiu-jitsu, and I can just put the guy down and submit him like with force without being that good at the moves. And then after like 7 years of training, I asked my coach, like my instructor, how can I get better? The guys I can beat, and the guys I can't. And I'm kind of stuck in this rut right here, kind of right under the black belt level. I could beat some black belts and can't beat others. And he said, quit forcing everything. Like if they grab your hand, you let them put it down. If they're going to throw you, get thrown. And within a year, I was twice as good at jiu-jitsu. And the point of that story is, I knew how to force the moves on. And that's what I'm going to do to this program until April 1st. I'm just going to force this to happen no matter what. And then after that, I'm going to learn how to just relax and let it happen and get better. Get that, like I said, get twice as good at this program. And that's going to be, of course, drinking water, going for walks, you doing yoga. You don't have to call it yoga if you don't like that word. You can just call it stretching, because that's mostly what it is. Learn downward dog, and you can look up like 10 yoga poses and you got it down. Touch your toes, downward dog. What's the snake one? I can't remember them all. Cobra, couple warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3, and you're both sides, and you're set. You could do it. I want to say 10 minutes, but probably 15 or 20, 3 days a week of that. I do it pretty regularly. I just start doing it no matter where. I'll do it in the middle of a gym. Just start stretching out this way, that way, downward dog, especially. It does your calves, your hams, your glutes, your lower back. It's amazing. Plus, you're kind of holding your body up, so you're kind of developing your shoulder. Do some planks in the middle of your yoga workout. Like I'm saying, after April 1st is where I'm going to get that more relaxed, more than the finesse. This is the force in it. Then I'm going to get in the finesse in it. And I'm hoping by then I will be better at it, because like I said, with the 4 days of eating, I've only been the 4 days of eating 3 times so far. I'm on the 4th 96-hour fast, and eating starts tomorrow night. So in 24 hours from now, I'll probably be making my video while something's cooking, or I will have just ate while I make my video, something like that. And I got to get better at it. I got to get used to, if I got to write it down, I'm having this and this for breakfast, and then only have that, because I usually don't do that. And then that's what causes me to have no plan and I'm not prepared to limit my intake of food. And that's kind of a big base of who I'm looking to help with this channel. It's not like another diet routine. I don't care if you ever fast. I don't care if you ever take any of my, like, what I'm doing. What the point I'm trying to make is that it's all in your head anyway. And this particular series we're on right now, because I know nobody's going to listen to the advice of a 275-pound guy that says you got to change your mind to lose weight, until I'm 170. Then you'll realize, hey, maybe he's got something, and it is all in your head. Because of course it is, right? People think they're driven by their feelings, and they are. But your feelings are driven by your thoughts, and you are in control of your thoughts. So if you feel like it's emotional eating, and yes, it is, but your thoughts are controlling your feelings that create those emotions. And you can learn with different I haven't talked about all the books and Audible books I've read, but it's a big thing that has got me to the point of, that's it, Zach, you're going to lose 100 pounds, and you're going to do it now. And you don't have a choice. I'm instructing you to do it. You have to do it. You're going to start a YouTube channel. You're going to grow it huge. You're going to lose a ton of weight, and you're going to become, the advice will be real, because I will have just lost 100 pounds. And it's happening. If it takes, it's got to take at least a year, right? That's 2 pounds a week. Well, if I kept with the 3 pounds a week to 5 pounds a week, it might only take six months. But I'm thinking it's going to take probably the most of this year. I'm already down 20 pounds, so I got to lose 70 more pounds. I'm actually down like 22 pounds from just now jumping on the scale. So what was that? I still have 48 pounds to lose, but it goes up and down as I eat and fast and eat and fast. So if it takes all the way till November, December, that'd be fine, right? That'd be a killer pace, and it'd be a great weight loss. It'd be a great testimonial. And then even better will be the whole next year to keep it off, and then run the whole marathon in October of 2024. Matter of fact, I am going to publicly say it. Next October is the Mankato Marathon. I'm in Minnesota, so there's this city called Mankato, and I like to run that one. Super hilly. It's in and out of a river valley. So you go down by the river and back up the other, and it kind of goes in and out, and a little bit through like residential areas, but there's parks and paths and trails along the river, and it's a really nice scenic half marathon. And they also have a whole. So next year I'll run the half, and the year after that I'll run the whole. It's done. And I bet you I'll beat my time too, because I weighed the first one I ran, I weighed 251 pounds. When I told you in 2019, when the guy I'd kind of been on a mission like I am now, where I weighed like 285, I think, and I got down like 35 pounds and ran the half marathon. And then, then I ballooned up all winter again, and then I lost weight all summer, and then I gained weight all winter, and I lost weight. So this was the first year where I didn't really lose a bunch of weight all summer, because I was dating a woman that was not very active, even though she's the skinniest woman I've ever dated, or the thinnest, healthiest, fittest. She never worked out, never left the house. It just kind of bogged me down. Was not my style. She kind of did a lot of things I don't do, but I don't mind people do that. I have tons of family and friends I grew up with that do that. I did it when I was a teenager, and I just never did it again. And I thought I could handle being around people like that. But after a year of just such dissimilar, what do you want to do every day? It's like, I don't want to sit on the couch and watch movies and listen to Justin Bieber songs on YouTube. Man, I want to get out and do stuff. I want to go hiking and camping and go for a run and just be outdoors. So my next woman will be an outdoors woman. How do you say that? So, I do want to focus. I know I already mentioned it, but to just keep learning. If you hear me say, Dr. Jason Fung's books or Dr. Jordan Peterson's books or, the Napoleon Hill with the Think and Grow Rich. I mean, between finances and fitness and your health, that's why it's called Healthy, Wealthy, Happy, because I really believe the healthy is the biggest contributor to your happiness. And that's not just physically healthy, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And the one thing that I'm missing now is to be in a relationship with a woman, but I'm not missing a relationship because I have a very strong relationship with Jesus Christ. And I'm placing way more importance on that now. And that I'm hoping will lead to the actual Christian, hopefully slightly conservative, loving, caring, sharing, no games, no head games playing woman that I believe I deserve in my life, that I have just not been able to find my entire life. I found them. I probably just skipped by them because I wanted to go to the red flag show. So, all right, guys, we are at the half-hour mark. That's kind of my limit nowadays. If you watch my videos, you see I like to just gab on and keep on talking even when I'm done. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next hour because I didn't go to the gym today, so this video is happening a little earlier, but I am already drinking my tea. Hopefully it'll knock me out. Thank you to the I got a bunch of subscribers today. I think I got about 65 subscribers today, which is probably nothing to big channels, but it's a lot to me. So thank everybody that subscribed today and welcome aboard. Welcome to the journey. We're going to document me going from 270 pounds to 170 pounds, and it's going to happen. 218 by April 1st. So that's the big intermittent first step. And then that'll be the new launch pad for more of just no fasting regularly and just eating healthy and working out. And it's a lot easier to work out every day when you're eating every day. You could probably imagine that. So thank you so much to the new subscribers. Oh, and if you haven't voted on the poll on my page, if you hit the Zach at, and it'll go to my page and scroll down, there's just a little poll. How much weight do you think I'll lose by April 1st? Because I weigh 270. So it's minus 30, minus 40, minus 50, or over 50. And it motivates me to see what people think and where we're at. I think minus 30 is winning. And there's one or two for 40, and there's a few for over 50. So just based on where you heard me, I'm already down 22, and I got quite a bit of time to go. So I know I'm going to go past the 30 unless I completely, I guess maybe if I get hit by a train or something. Might lose a lot of weight like that though too. Take a leg off, and then boom, there goes 50, and I win, right? I'm going to win anyway. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much for joining my community. Jesus loves you. I love you. And I will see you tomorrow evening.